Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rise. We're back here at Porsche Clearwater, and guess what? I have one of those other iconic German brands other than Porsche to bring to you. Is this vehicle right here. This is a 2024 BMW M2, but the best news is this has the 6-speed manual transmission. But before we get into the smallest of the true M cars, the M2, let's talk about what's going on here. So we all know BMW's been going through this weird phase over the past few years where their styling has gotten a little unorthodox, to put it nicely. They really have been using different shapes, different size things like grills, and a lot of gloss black plastic. The M2 kind of forgoes all of that. Now, I'm not saying that it isn't a unique shape and a unique style. It definitely is. And for me, the previous gen M2 really checked off all the boxes. But what I want to find out is if you're looking for a performance, manual transmission equipped car, do you want to go M2 or do you want to go good old Americana with the Mustang Dark Horse? Both of them are available with a manual transmission. Let's go ahead. Let's dive into our Toronto Red. I know it looks orange, but technically the color is called Toronto Red on this M2 and find out. Right off the bat, I love the petite size. I feel like the M4 has just gotten bigger and bigger. This still has that nice overall dimension and shape to it. At the front of the business, I'm digging how they did the headlights. Of course, you got your projector beam headlight, LED daytime running lamp, and turn signal. Working our way down, we have these ginormous, squarish corner air intakes, obviously for the heat exchangers behind. Just a little bit of gloss black inside. Nothing too crazy, but fully functional. And one thing I've always admired about BMWs over the years is I like the way they blend into the actual bodywork, their splitter. There's no actual splitter needed because this acts as the splitter to scoop tons of air into that opening. Now, as we come across the grille, small grille compared to the bigger M4. I like the overall shape. Remember, the kidney-shaped grille design is historic with BMW. Even the way they placed the BMW badge, they kind of dropped it in and then brought that shape right down the center, and then look at all the open air in the lower grille. I mean, you can literally take softballs and just throw them in there. And then of course you have that gloss black splitter extension. But like I said, even with the gloss black openings, there's not a ton like say on the XM SUV. We got our real deal true M2 badge. This is a real M car. This isn't just fancy wheels and a fancy steering wheel. This is the true performance spec. And then as we rise up, one of my favorite things is you get this nice bulge. It's a bulge with a plateau. So it bulges up and then it flattens out, gives the M2 some real attitude. And it's gonna take a lot because remember, pulling this next to a Mustang Dark Horse screams attitude, but this M2 is gonna be able to hang with them when you have them parked next to one another. Now, as we come around the bend, what are we working with? Wheels and tires. So we have these forged wheels. Love the design. It's gonna be a little labor intensive to clean, but that's the labor of love. You do have those 6-piston Brembo calipers, and the rotors are 2-piece and cross-drilled to cut down on heat buildup and also cut down on your rotating mass. We got the Michelin Pilot Sport 4S tires. That's Stephen's tire of choice, Stephen Flood's tire of choice. And the tire size on this vehicle, you'll notice wheels up front are 19-inch. The tires are 275 on the width and 35 series sidewall. Let me know what you think about it. It's almost like a snowflake style design, gloss black. Like I said, if you don't enjoy cleaning your car, you may not be a real car person. Even though it'd be a little labor intensive, it's still one of those things that I would love to just make nice and shiny every day. Now, as we come down the rest of the vehicle, you'll notice that unique arrow shape to their mirror caps. Love the way they do that. That flared fender look. Especially, I'm gonna have Stephen kind of swing around, just show how that flare comes out into our side skirt extension. And that's one of the things, like I said, about this vehicle, very petite in size. And I'm digging it. Up top, we got a full carbon fiber roof. That's gonna cut about 8 pounds. Lower your center of gravity. You got the gloss black around the window openings, flush mounted door handles. Really digging that. And then I love, this part right here is probably one of my favorite. It reminds me of the old E30 BMW M3s, the E30s from the late 80s, the way it flares out into the rear fender quarter panel. Now, when we look at the rear setup, I am gonna have to zonk those brakes. We don't get Brembos all 4 corners, and that really kind of blows my mind. 19-inch wheel up front, 20-inch wheel out back. Tires are just a little bit wider, 285. Remember, we have 275 up front, 285 out back. You still got a 2-piece cross-road rotor. It's just the calipers are just your standard caliper. I'm sure they upgraded the pads and painted it red, but it's not a Brembo caliper. And we do have, of course, that limited slip diff. Now, as we swing it around back, like I said, that flared boxy fender just looks fantastic. I love the way they did the LED lighting. And then down below, they hid the reflector in this flared out rear end area. Now up top, you get a little bit of a Toronto red trunklet spoiler. I like the way it's body color. I would like it even more if it was carbon fiber. M2 badge, of course, BMW Bavarian Motor Works. And then dropping it like it's hot, and it's really hot out here, is we have this quad tip exhaust, active exhaust, make it quiet, make it louder with that functional rear diffuser. But just like up front, it looks tough. It looks tough out back as well. But why don't we pop the hood and check out the power plant of this M2. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. You do have hood struts. Underneath that hood, check out the amount of bracing that they put underneath here. Not only do you have it across the midsection from the shock top mount to the shock top mount, and remember, we have adaptive suspension. That's what all these wires leading to your shock absorbers mean. And then you even have bracing tying in the front of the car where the radiator, the main radiator, is housed. But what do we got? We got a 3-liter straight 6 twin turbocharged engine, 453 horsepower, 406 pound-feet of torque. Does not have as much horsepower as a Dark Horse, but wait until we get to the weight. 0 to 60 with this 6-speed manual in 3.8 seconds, quarter mile in 12.1 seconds at 118 miles an hour. Top speed is 177 miles an hour. MPGs around 17 in the city, 24 on the highway. And the kicker is the car weighs 3,740 pounds. Now, that may sound heavy for an M2, and to be honest with you, it actually surprised me. But with that being said, the Dark Horse weighs around 4,000 pounds. So when you think about the Dark Horse has 500 horsepower and this has about 25 horsepower less, I think it's making up the difference with the weight. But why don't we go ahead, let's fire this straight 6 twin turbocharged engine up and hear what it sounds like. All right, guys, we are inside this 2024 BMW M2. This is actually my first time sitting in a redesigned M2 with the manual transmission. So I feel very, very lucky to have the opportunity not only to drive this, but to bring it to you. Now, I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I got my last kid out of the house. They finally moved out at the young age of 32. And I want to freaking take that money that I was spending on feeding them and buy myself a performance car. I was thinking Mustang Dark Horse, but I'm digging this M2. How much is it? Very good question, and congratulations. 32 is actually quite young. I think I hear a lot of parents saying that their kids are moving out now by 40. So, kind of weird, but it is what it is, right? You made them. Anyways, price asking for this is $66,000. Let's see how it stacks up to the Dark Horse, to the door panels. Interesting how they did those geometric triangle indentations. I'm not sure if I'm liking it. So as of right now, it's a zonk. I do like the blue contrast stitching, and I do love the M colors, which that actually illuminates at night. Looks spectacular. We got the Harman Kardon sound system. And then down below, you got enough room for 2 bratwursts, extra kraut, and a bottle of root beer to wash it down. Going from the door panel to the dash, real carbon fiber. Slide on in, we got nothing but screen. So just like in the Mustang Dark Horse, you have screen, you got screen in this thing as well. Over 14 inches, so you win the screen size against a Dark Horse, because a Dark Horse is a little over 13 inches. 14 inches of screen. I do like the way this one is placed, better than in the Mustang, but it's still kind of just like there. Now it is full touchscreen, of course. You got your navigation. We'll go back home. You could bring up all your different modes and set each one up perfectly just for you. Let me show you when I push the M mode button. You got road, you got, of course, sport, and we got full track. And when you come to the business end, I'll show you how the gauges change. Let me put in a reverse. Backup camera is very clear. I just wish that this was larger. We got 14 inches here. Let's use the 14 inches. Dual climate control, nice and easy to get to. We come back. If you ever want climate, here's the key. Just tap right there. And that's where we have our heated seats, no ventilated seats at this price point. Working our way down, you got your AC vents, a real volume knob, more carbon fiber. Somebody spilt a bucket of carbon fiber, 2 cup holders, and you got a place for at least 1 Twinkie in there. No wireless charging in there, but you do have a USB-A. Let me close that up. This is where the magic happens. 6-speed, short throw. This is the last model year to have a manual transmission. Love the stitching, the M stitching. You do have that bright red start-stop button. Your modes, you can make the exhaust louder. Direct drive control knob. BMW came up with that many moons ago. Love the carbon fiber, the blue stitching. Open it up, USB-C, and then you got enough room in here. I would say you could put 2 Arby's beef and cheddar. So if you're not feeling it, if you're not feeling like going German with a bratwurst, you could have your Arby's in there. And here's a little fun fact. Arby's is the first fast food place to have curly fries. So they came up with that. Seats, the leather, the M2 badge illuminates at night, the stitching, the bolstering, electric assist for the passenger, electric assist for the driver. And then of course you do have, which I'm gonna do it the old fashioned way and move it just like here. Here we go, moving the seat for Steven to show off the back seat area. So let me get this out of the way. Back seat is tight, but believe it or not as tight as the Mustang. So you actually have more room back here for a human being in this car than you do in a Mustang, which is mind-blowing. But why don't you come over here to the business end? I want to show you behind the wheel and more of this manual transmission in this M2. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel. You do have 2 memory seat settings for the driver's seat. Love the M2 aluminum sill plate. Pedal box right out of an M race car. Love the aluminum dead pedal, clutch, brake, and throttle. Perfect for heel, toe, downshifting all day long. You got your seat controls, easy to get to. And then I almost forgot, you have the M colors in the seat belts. That's worth an extra 5 horsepower. I'm 6 feet tall, and like I said, even though this car is smaller than the Mustang, lots of room in here. Not even close to the headliner. Get a helmet on for your track day, and then you got one of the best steering wheels in the business. Love the thickness, the M coloring, carbon fiber. You got your preference M buttons, easy to get to. It is a manual tilting and telescoping wheel. And then of course you have that 12.3 inch digital gauge display. Watch this when I change the mode. So this is right now normal or road, sport. Let's go track. You got to touch the stupid screen. Activate track, baby. There it is. With your tachometer, look at that. Large gear indicator, spectacular. No head-up display. We'll see how it goes once we hit the open road, but let's get into the trunk because I want to go sliding through this 6-speed manual transmission in this M2. All right, guys, we have the trunk popped. What's great about this vehicle, even though it's small in overall size, look at all that cargo room. You got 14 cubic feet of space. I like how low the cargo floor is. You do have, of course, your Nürburgring ring, the Nordschleife Twinkie cargo holder, and there is no spare. So just like on the Dark Horse, those seats do fold down to even maximize your space even a little bit more. But just like on the inside, they're able to pack in space, just the same in the trunk area. But if you're ready, I'm definitely ready. Let's go see how good this 6-speed manual is in this M2. All right, guys, we are inside this BMW M2 with the manual transmission. And right away, I really love the seating position in here. Great visibility out the front. The A-pillars are pulled nice and far apart. I do have it in track mode, and even the visibility out the back is great. Seats, these are not the optional seats. These are the standard seats. You can get even more bolstering with their race bucket seat, but obviously for daily use, this is much more comfy. But I love the sound going on with the straight six, twin turbocharged power. I just love how balanced this car feels. I really feel like it's wrapped around me like a freaking isotoner glove, or like a warm blanket, in a very good way. It's got automatic rev match downshift, or if you want to do your own heel toe downshifting, you could turn it off if you choose to do so. But if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go on throttle. On throttle, here we go. Nice. This thing surprises you. Love the freaking sound. Some of the sound is getting pumped in through the speakers, but I guess they do that to really clean things up. But you're getting plenty of real sound coming out of that exhaust. It really comes on strong. Those twin turbos really spool up quickly and give you that power pack punch. Golly, man. If you're not ready for it, it does surprise you, that's for sure. Love the short throws on the 6-speed manual. The one thing that's bothered me a little bit, it's a little rubbery. There's a little bit of a rubbery feel. And for some reason, if my memory serves me right, on modern BMWs, even the Toyota Supra manual, which of course has that BMW transmission, they tend to have a rubbery feel to them. So even though the throws are nice and short, the engagement is crisp. There's just something kind of rubber feeling as you're going from gear to gear. Other than that, it's a great gearbox, and I'm so glad that we were able to track one down to showcase. I've already done the 8-speed transmission. Now it's nice to have the manual. But going down the road, super comfy. And like I said, it's shocking how much room they've been able to pack to the interior of this vehicle. Getting to the over 14-inch infotainment system is well within reach. And this car really falls back into alignment where BMW was at in the 70s, 80s, and 90s when it came to their slogan, the ultimate driving machine. This M2 really brings it back. It's a tough decision to go M2 or Dark Horse. I really think that is a tough decision that, thank God, I don't have to make. But it's really going to come down to what exactly do you want? Do you want more that linear torque delivery that comes in lower through the rev range and has that snarty growl, and you're okay with a little bit extra heft? Or are you wanting something a little bit more tidy, a little bit more petite, but yet still brings tons of power? Let's go on throttle. You ready? On throttle, here we go. Look at this. It is surprising just how quick this vehicle is. The downshifts, love the pops and bangs, man. Sounds spectacular in so many ways. but it just feels great behind the wheel, and it allows you to just be one with the car. Especially when you downshift and you put it into a corner. The steering is nice and quick, very precise. There's not a lot of body roll. There's actually none. It actually corners very, very flat. But when you roll on it, especially second gear, look out, watch this. Oh, throttle, here we go. Look at this. And then you look down at the speedometer and you're like, what? I'm doing that right now? That's how freaking fast this car is. And it's just, I love it for all the things that it is. And that's why I'd rather have one of these than an M3 or an M4. From the driving experience, the style. Let's go into this corner here. On the brakes. Nice, look at this, look at this. Here we go. On throttle. Look at that. Oh, I love this thing. Nice steering wheel, one of the best in the business. Seats hold you into place very well, and yet they're still comfy, which is good. Let's see if I could get a little bit of room here. Pops and bangs, baby. Snap, crackle, pop. You ready? On throttle, here we go. On the brakes. Brakes feel fantastic. Look at this. Look at this. Woo! It is one hell of a roller coaster ride in here. Really a fun car to drive. Very, very fun car to drive. Wow. I'm so glad I finally got to experience the manual transmission in the M2. Wow. Not as good as the Tremec. The Tremec in the Dark Horse is on another level, but this is quite damn good, I have to admit. You ready? One more time. On throttle, here we go. So smooth. It's just so smooth. And they do a good job with the suspension tuning. They really checked off the boxes on this damn thing. It's freaking really good. They had only put a manual in the freaking Z Nismo. Now we're talking. Look at this. It makes you feel so connected to the car. You feel so connected in such a great way. But of course, all good things must come to an end, and we got to get back to Porsche Clearwater. So I'll see you in a split second. Hey guys, another great day in so many ways. Definitely got to thank, of course, Larry and the rest of the crew here at Porsche Clearwater for getting us access to this 2024 BMW M2 with the 6-speed manual. Let me know what you think. Are you going BMW? Are you going Mustang Dark Horse? They're pretty close to the same price. I wonder if they did that on purpose. But let me know down in the comment section. But if you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit the subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. I'll come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raised Rise family. Gotta give it up to Stephen Flood Photography. Whenever a manual transmission needs to be filmed, he jumps up to the plate and he's ready to rock and roll. So show him some love in the comment section. Thank you, Stephen, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.